Okay, so Instagram was actually being really stupid. There's quite a few more questions that did not show up for me to answer, so I'm gonna go ahead and compose myself and answer those questions. What's the stance on posting pictures of your baby? I ended up making my Instagram private, but I don't really mind friends seeing them. I don't mind posting pictures of the baby in the future at all. I don't think that's the bad thing, really. I think that'd be kind of cute. I'm sure you guys are gonna want to see and stuff anyways. So yeah, I don't mind that. I think it's cute. Did you have an idea of what being pregnant would feel like? How has that changed? The only thing that I knew was nausea, and that when you get later on, your belly gets hard like a rock. That kind of freaks me out. I didn't know pregnant bellies get like that until a few years ago. I had a coworker who was pregnant, and I felt her stomach, and I was like, oh my goodness, is this normal? But yeah, I didn't, it's not just like running to the bathroom and just puking your guts out. It is like that later on, but for me, I wasn't like that at the beginning. I just felt super, super nauseous all the time. So, I didn't know how annoying it would be to have to go pee all the time. That was weird. I thought I had like a UTI at first, but it wasn't. It was just your uterus starting to expand or something, and it presses on your bladder. So it makes you have to go pee all the time. Do you find yourself chatting to the baby? No, not yet, but now is the time that it's part of the brain where it hears things and like makes association with happy memories with voices and stuff, so like it can kind of start to learn to recognize my voice through the weird, layers it has to go through anyways. That way when it comes out, it'll kind of start to recognize Mama's voice. I haven't started really talking to it though. The one thing that I have done is I started to have, after the appointment of seeing the baby, is I started to think, oh, there's not 3 people, there's not 2 people in the car, there's 3 people in the car, and some silly stupid stuff like that. And I think maybe once or twice I have said things, or like towards the beginning, if I want to eat and I couldn't eat, I was like, stop that, let me eat, or something goofy like that. So yeah. Does your mood change due to being pregnant? Yes, it has. I was extremely stressed and upset and everything at the beginning, and I'm sure that I would be described of as snappy or bitchy, maybe even. I have found myself to become, burping again, sorry, more determined, more like mama bear mode. Like I feel more protective and stuff now. My fight has kicked in to want to take care of the baby, kind of thing. Yeah, and then the happiest pregnancy moment, I answered that one. Are you worried about your current tattoos changing when your body changes? Will you continue to get tattooed while pregnant and after giving birth? So I'm not too worried about my tattoos changing. The only one that would change is the one on my stomach, and that is my Daruma dolls. Technically, you can get tattooed and pierced while pregnant, so long as you know your parlor is very sanitary and you trust them with being clean. Because otherwise, if they aren't, you could contract some kind of disease, and that could be passed on to the baby. But no, I will not be taking a chance in getting tattooed at the moment, although I do want to fill in another one of my Daruma's eyes. I have 4 Darumas on my stomach. I have a tattoo video about that, discussing them. One of them was to publish my novel, which I have. So one of my wishes have been fulfilled, one of my goals. So one of those eyes do need to get filled in at some point, because I have now done 3 things that I have wanted to do really bad in my life. And yeah, after I give birth, after I feel okay and stuff, then yeah, I'll be getting tattooed whenever I can afford that or whatnot in the future. One thing that I do want to get done for myself, and something I've been wanting to get done for a while and I just haven't, was to get my belly button pierced. And a lot of people do have to take that piercing out anyways while they're pregnant, because it gets very uncomfortable. You technically should not get pierced in certain areas while you're pregnant, like this area, because it makes it hard for it to heal, and then as your body changes, it stretches and moves and things, and it doesn't really heal right, and your body might reject the piercing and stuff. But yeah, I do want to get my belly button pierced later on in the future. That'll be my, yay, the pregnancy is over, my body's getting back to normal, I'ma feel positive about myself, and blah blah blah. Yeah, something goofy of mine that I would like to do. What are you looking forward to the most about being a parent? What kind of parenting approach do you think you'll take? I firmly believe in discipline. At the same time, you have to balance it with being empathetic and kind. So there's lots of parents out there who let their kids scream and yell and kick them. That is not happening at all. No, 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 no. No, no, no. My kid will be a little lady or gentleman, and they will behave themselves, and if I give them that look, I expect them to know what that means. Or that moment when your parent leans down and whispers in your ear, that's all it should take. I do believe in spankings. Not everybody does. There is a certain line that you do cross, though, from spanking to like actual hitting and hurting the kid. That line will not be crossed, of course. But yeah, I am a bit old-fashioned with that kind of approach. But personally, my ideal parenting-ness is Gilmore Girls. I always have admired and loved the relationship that Lorelai and Rory have between one another, and that is the kind of relationship that I will strive to have with my child, very much. I will, depending on like their maturity level too, because not every kid is the same, give them certain amounts of freedom and opinions and stuff. Like, I will never pressure them to believe how I believe. I don't think that is right. And that is something that happened to me growing up. And, but I believe also too much freedom can be a bad thing, like just letting your kid run wild and never knowing what's going on in their life and stuff. That's not okay. So, yeah, you gotta find that balance, and it's gonna be tricky. And the main thing that I did not want to become a parent, or the reason why I did not want to become a parent before, is because so many parents are hypocrites. And I did not want to become a hypocrite with them. So I'm going to be extremely careful about that, and also at the same time keep an open mind. So yeah, that's my approach and how I aim to handle things as much as possible. What emotions have you felt during this time? I think I've already kind of covered that. When did you feel you were pregnant? I never felt pregnant. And then, yeah, I think I found out towards the beginning of August, like August 11th, August 13th, I think is when I took the test, technically, and I got pregnant at the beginning of July. Excuse me, sorry. At the beginning of July is what they estimated it. I can't really pinpoint. We're not going to go into that. Um, Thank you for calling me a lovely human being. I appreciate that. And yes, I hope from here on out the stress will get much better, because that's a very scary thing. Then, last but not least, have you had a lot of cravings? If so, what has been your biggest one? No, I haven't really had any cravings. I've kind of had like anti-cravings. So I prefer fresh foods. Like a lot of like, I've been making smoothies recently and adding a handful of spinach. Like I have packets of separated fruits and stuff that are frozen, and I put that in the blender with some soy milk and like a handful of spinach. And then one food that I was able to eat during the whole nausea period was raw baby carrots, so like little peeled carrots and stuff I was able to eat, and that had like a lot of vitamins and stuff in this. That was good. But just like fresh things. I didn't want a whole bunch of like cooked, not a lot of spices, not a lot of flavors. I'm still kind of like that, and I am very much more on the vegetarian side right now, being pregnant, which is something I wanted anyways. Is I kind of would like to raise them as vegetarian as possible. I want them to have a respect for life, you know, with certain things. And but yeah, I do still eat meat every now and then, just not a whole lot. For some reason it's too heavy and it kind of repulses me. I have been vegetarian and vegan before years ago, but I'm currently not and haven't been, and I don't really like to consume a whole lot of meat anyways. I am being careful though to get protein from other sources, as well as I'm not eating a lot of meat. So with certain soy products or broccoli I really like, and stuff like that. One thing that I have actually really craved and I haven't been able to have it, and I really want it, is ramen. Like legit ramen at a ramen shop. I want freaking ramen. I want ramen. Not the crappy cheap instant ramen. I want real ramen. And I really wanted sushi when I couldn't eat anything like baked sushi, especially baked sushi roll. Like, oh my god, I want a sushi. And technically, yes, you can have sushi during pregnancy. You just, again, have to have it from a trusted sushi place. Even my OBGYN said sushi was okay, as long as from somewhere that you trust. People in Japan and stuff eat sushi when they're pregnant all the time. Never an issue. The thing for not eating raw fish is like mercury poisoning. And that chance of that is so minute. It's kind of ridiculous and very overhyped. So don't worry about that. Yes, I did have raw sushi, but it didn't taste good to me. So the cooked sushi tasted fine to me, and vegetable sushi I was actually able to eat, like just the white rice with cucumber and avocado and like cream cheese in it. I was totally fine with. So I probably won't be having like a lot of sushi anyways. If anything, it'll be like the cooked or vegetable sushi, just because things don't taste right still completely to me. And yeah, I think that's kind of it. Yeah. Alright, so now it is time to sign off and say goodbye. Thank you again. Have a good one, guys. So yeah, any other questions, definitely write them down below. I'd be more than happy to answer them, as long as not overly private. Alright, bye guys.